Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to Q&A Friday. Somebody wrote a very interesting question, and they felt really disturbed in writing. What are you saying? Are you saying I should never try to make myself stop doing my compulsive behavior? Whatever it is. If willpower doesn't work and discipline doesn't work and making lots of rules and regulations and, handcuffing yourself to the chair at night, like the Beauty and the Beast, or all those kinds of approaches to ending compulsion. They say white knuckling in AA sometimes, like I'm white knuckling through. In other words, using force to prevent myself from doing something. We all know what that's like. We keep ourselves from saying something, or we prevent ourselves from exploding at someone if we're feeling very, very angry. And, whatever it is to just have a sense of control around what appears to be uncontrollable. And there's a lot of conversation and talk about how that aspect of, always approaching an addictive or compulsive experience with an idea of a rule in mind or an effort to control, that it doesn't ultimately feel that great. It doesn't seem to ultimately work. There's only going to be so much willpower that you have available to hold steady. You can only keep your fists clenched for so long before your hand will start to hurt and it'll get exhausted. So we kind of know that, are aware of that. But then this person's mind went into, so should I never try to stop and just do it all the time? Like urge arises, I just do it. Doesn't matter. Willpower doesn't work. Well, that's like swinging to the complete opposite. It's almost as if we're denying the idea that we are engaged in some kind of experience that we don't actually like. We don't like the effects of it. We don't like the outcome. We don't like being controlled by something. We don't like that there seems to be so much confusion and disruption and unhappiness, like whatever a hangover is, or being completely stuffed so that you're so uncomfortable and you're in incredible pain. We don't like the self-attacking voices that say you've done it wrong again. And we'll kind of stay in that orientation about there is something wrong. And so I would just find, this person was almost alarmed with giving up all control around this because it's worked to kind of suppress something or just say, no, we're not going there to the mind. But I would see that it's all staying in the same sort of place of thinking and feeling and thinking and feeling and looking, and which is okay. So innocent, so innocent. But this great question that is self-inquiry, if I didn't have this orientation, and what do we ultimately want? We want this to be just sort of uninteresting and never occurring to us and completely irrelevant in the first place. Like there's that drug, there's the pack of cigarettes, there's the opportunity to buy stuff and go shopping. There's the screen, and that I'm just really not even that interested. It is not even a thing for me. There's the food. There's a giant smorgasbord. I'm at a huge party. I don't even mind or notice that it's all there. I just feel centered in here with myself. I'm not afraid that I'm going to hurt myself with this thing, with this behavior. I don't have a concern about that. I mean, that's what we want, some kind of a sense of just stability and not being falling into the whole story and the dynamic that's going on. So one great exercise that I'll just give everyone today is to, instead of deciding whether you are or are not going to do something and making lots of plans around that, and looking at control. If it works for you to, resist, I mean, that'll just naturally be appearing because you know where it's going. Oh my gosh, here we go into I'm just going to do it. You're aware that where this ends and what this provides for you. That it's very mixed. It looks like it provides some relief. It looks like there's something good about it, or I wouldn't even be interested in it in the first place. The taste, the feeling of consuming, the feeling of taking something in, and how that seems to relax something in the nervous system. And all other concerns, kind of fade away as I eat this, substance, maybe my favorite kind of thing that I eat and I keep eating. The thing that helps to look at is whatever it is that's out there that looks like our reasons. This feels so good. I'm just so convinced that this is worth this temporary feeling of relaxation. I want to scroll on my phone, and it's just worth it to go there, because sitting by myself with my own thinking feels intolerable. That's the place where I'm going to find the gold. That's the place where I'm going to find my healing, my sense of understanding, my sorting through whatever's going on here. I'm going to find it in how is my mind perceiving this, that it looks so wrong to sit quietly in a room with silence. That looks so difficult to be with my own thoughts. That I had this exchange with the person who asked the question, and there was a lot there around how he felt he was showing up in the world and things that he believed, or, some of his interests and joy, and how love was for him. And that there was problems with that. Something about his own, position in the world and what he was doing that was in opposition to his culture or his mother or his family. And that is something so important to see. Can I be looking and notice how much criticism I feel like I'm taking on towards myself? How I feel like other people are seeing me negatively. How I feel like I don't belong. Have I adopted this perspective that there's something wrong with me? They think so. They think I'm not doing it the way they want me to do it. Can I have a different perspective around that? They look like they're prejudiced against me, or condemning me in some way. And then how am I with that? Somebody doesn't like me. What meaning am I making of that in this world? Somebody does like me. What meaning am I making of that? We say, the mind is like a meaning-making machine. And it looks like our compulsive, things that we get fixated on is providing something. What do I think it provides? That's an amazing thing to make a list, an exercise. Like, write down what it gives me. And instead of just jumping to, it gives me nothing but hardship, it gives me nothing but pain. That can't be true. It gives, it provides something. It provides some kind of relief. I remember the feeling of binge eating and how it would reduce my anxiety. Everything would be vanishing that was in my life. And I would almost be like, everything's canceled. I don't care who wants to come over or who's calling me or what kind of incoming ideas. No problems are being looked at in this moment. I am just going for eating food. That's what's happening in this situation. Just going to drink. I'm just going to go out and smoke. I'm just going to get lost in the screen. That's all I care about in this moment. Everything else vanishes. That is an amazing thing that happens. And compulsion. So noticing what I want to get lost from, whatever kind of life that I'm having that I want to avoid, that a compulsion coming in to do its medicine and offer its help and assistance is coming alive for some kind of, and sometimes there's just a continuous practice of this thing. So I begin to get very accustomed to the relief it provides. But is that relief true? Is it really providing this relief that I've believed it's providing? Is it really that fantastic? This is no small thing to be considering whether or not it's true, really, really, really for you. And it's not a small thing to give up. So I remember noticing, oh my goodness, I felt a little fear for a second. This thing that has provided such intensity, such expression, letting out of all this wild emotion about life that's funneled into this behavior, that just doesn't have the pull. It doesn't have the hit, the intensity. It's not doing for me what I used to think it would do. This is not happening. What if I don't have this anymore to fall back on, to find relief in? And I had a moment of, oh no. But it's, oh yes, really. That's a good thing. Seeing that you, raw, unaided, unassisted, all of you, just as you are, is enough. There's no extra help required. It's enough. You can all the way that your mind is running and all that emotional and activity and everything about life and everything you've experienced and the traumas and the difficulties, all of that can be handled by you. We just don't realize it or know it. And I still will have the thoughts that I can't handle X, Y, or Z, but I know it isn't true. I know it's not true. So make a list of what you think your thing that you like so much provides for you, even if it's a specific food or whatever it is there, and then really begin to check that out. Is that actually the truth? Who would I be without this meaning that I'm putting on it? Who would I be without that thought? Is it really, really true also? That provides relief, that temporary relief that lasts such a brief moment compared to life. Even if whatever your thing is something you can get lost in for, 8 hours or something like that. It's, don't you notice how you need more, and more to stay in that temporary, very, very temporary, very fleeting space? So who would you be without all that need to repeat? Wouldn't that be a relief? Wouldn't that be more peaceful? I think you do have to find out for yourself. I sure did. So write down all the reasons why this is such a great benefit for you in your life, this thing that you do. Instead of just automatically putting it on like, I don't know what's wrong with me, and of course it's not a benefit, and I'm a ridiculous person for even having this, like seeing it this way. Really sit there and let yourself see what benefits. And then those are worth questioning. Let me know how it goes.